Dear students, today I am going to start new topic which is Introduction to Bioinformatics, and in this field this is my first lecture. Bioinformatics is a science which utilizes computer science and information technology to manage and analyze biological data. From 1950s onwards, large amount of sequence data related to various living organisms have been collected and stored in databases. Bioinformatics has grown with very fast pace and evolved with initiation, execution and completion of Human Genome Project. You can see that this word is made up of two meaningful parts. First is bio and other is informatics. Bio stands for biology and its data. Example of its data is amino acid sequences, nucleic acid sequences, etc. And other organic and macromolecules can be uh, analyzed in this field. So uh, the data that belongs to biology will come under this heading. Uh, like amino acids are building blocks of proteins, and their sequences make up protein structure. There are 20 amino acids which are present in proteins, or they make proteins, and these names of these amino acids can be uh, denoted as a three-letter code or one-letter code. This is alanine, and three-letter code is ALA, and its single-letter code is A. This is serine, and its single-letter code will be S, and so on. So there are three-letter codes for and one-letter codes for all 20 amino acids. And what is sequencing? Sequencing is the finding out the composition and correct sequence of amino acids in any polypeptide unit. Polypeptide means a long sequence of amino acids, and very long sequences, more than 3000 molecular weight, uh, are known as proteins also. So these make up the proteins. Now nucleic acid is made up of purine and pyrimidine bases. Adenine, thymine are purine bases, and GC are uh, guanine, and cytosine are pyrimidine bases. Actually, these nucleic acids are made of nitrogenous bases. These two nitrogenous bases, each is linked with sugar, uh, pentasaccharide, and this contains a phosphate group also. So uh, normally, based on based on these purine and pyrimidine bases, these names are kept: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. So again, here sequencing means composition and sequence uh, of these bases in mm, nucleotide. So many bases are linked in one after another to make a nucleic acid. Now this is a data from biology, and if there is long sequence of these, uh, it must be analyzed to find out its meaning. When we analyze it, that data becomes a knowledge. So analyzed data is knowledge. This knowledge and raw data, this should be raw data if only various amino acids or various nucleotides are written one after another. on a paper, then that is a raw data, data without any meaning, and then it is written on a paper, and after analysis, it is analyzed data is again written on paper. That is possible, but uh, since this data grows exponentially daily, so there was need to store them, manage them, and analyze them uh, more easily, and that is how the role of computer science came into practice. Now, this informatics part is responsible for storing, managing, and analyzing data, uh, uh, both raw data and knowledge is stored in computers. It is managed that it is kept as such for very long time. Then whenever anybody requires, he or she can retrieve that data and analyze that, and uh, use that for some specific purpose. Now, after getting knowledge from the analyzed data, it must be distributed worldwide among various scientists and clinicians, so that it will be helpful in human benefit. Mm, if one scientist is working on A thing and another is working on B thing, it is also necessary to exchange their results and know what they have analyzed. So, data is exchanged also. To do these, to understand biological data with computer science and do so many functions. This branch of bioinformatics came into existence since late 1980s. Around suggestion for human genome project came in 1987 around, and actually it started in 1990 and finished in 2003. Yeah, and the science of bioinformatics, along with computer science, along with information technology, all evolved together with the initiation and completion of human genome sequencing project. Before 2003, uh, till the human genome sequencing was not complete, we were living in pre-genome era, and now it's post-genome era, in which uh, our genome sequence of our genome is known, and it is analyzed for the presence of various genes and their functions, their expressions uh, in both normal and diseased conditions, along with not only mm, sequencing is done for human beings, it is done for animals and plants also. Uh, every effort is made to uh, do something better for human beings. Bioinformatics is a multidisciplinary science because though it analyzes biological data, but analysis is done with the help of computer science, quantum mechanism, electronics, artificial genetics, and rules of genetics are kept in mind, and mathematics and statistics are helpful in making different algorithms and tools, and finally analyzed data is managed and distributed through information technology. So internet is also very beneficial, and world wide web uh, is responsible for uh, development and growth in the science of bioinformatics. Now, branches of bioinformatics, mainly there are two branches: plant bioinformatics and animal bioinformatics. Whatever is the branch, Important field and area of research in both of these are these are few actually this structural bioinformatics, drug designing, phylogenetics, computational biology, population genetics, genotyping, splice site prediction, miRNA prediction, RNA structure prediction, gene prediction, transcription binding site prediction, genome annotation, ancestry prediction, mathematical modeling, ethnicity prediction, functional domain prediction, motif prediction in any sequence, and protein-protein and protein nucleic acid interaction, etc. These are the area of research and fields of work, and whatever is analyzed is stored in databases. So these are developed along with this part. Analysis is done with the help of various tools, but that is stored and managed and handled and archived in databases, retrieved and again used many times. Data is used, but it remains unaltered in a database. So it is also the responsibility of the branch of bioinformatics to develop databases. Now, role of computers in bioinformatics. Bioinformatics is largely, although not exclusively, a computer-based discipline. Bioinformatics utilizes advances in the area of computer science, information science, computer and information technology, and communication technology to understand complex problems of life. At present, advancements in information technology, particularly the internet, are being used to collect, store, and access ever increasing information in biology. So, to understand biology through computers, it is necessary that computers recognize biological language. Computers use binary language represented by 0101, which is similar to the alphabetical language used for organic molecular structures like ATGC for 4 nucleotides, which are basic units of nucleic acid, DNA, RNA, and AGLMN for 20 amino acids, which are basic units of proteins. So, DNA and RNA protein and DNA and protein structures are strings of these basic units, and these alphabetical strings can be stored in the form of binary language. Thus, biomolecules can be represented in a language that machine understands, and it becomes possible to use computer to solve biological problems. In order to understand biological problems, same task is repeated several times, and it is easy to do this with the help of computers instead of doing manually, because in computers data can be stored till the completion of study and inferences can be curated, that is in the form of database data. Data is handled throughout its life cycle. Since databases are storehouses of knowledge, it is possible to retrieve data from them and used for user himself, or may be communicated to other users with the help of computers, of course. Various algorithms may be written for biological problems, tools may be developed by using them, and problems may be solved by using computer programs. Uh, it is also possible to express various patterns in biological molecules in graphical representations, visualize the structures of macromolecules, understand molecular modeling by performing docking between two structures, and stimulate the coding process, etc. So, this is how computer helps in uh, uh, bioinformatics, or it has main role in bioinformatics. Uh, we use computer as a medium to analyze biological data. To analyze biological data, algorithm is written. What is algorithm? Algorithm is a precise uh, is a method which ultimately ends after different steps. So, some any problem is solved using defined steps, and there is a condition that is this uh, algorithm is written in definite steps only, and it should end also. This is not infinite. So, method must end at some point, and from there you may get positive or negative results. Tools are developed and both analyze and data, raw data, both are stored in databases. Uh, two specialists, two forms of specialists are there uh, in this field. First is mechanical engineer type, which is known as bioinformaticists. These are those persons or students who uh, do their MSc and PhD in bioinformatics because they are able to write algorithms, develop tools to analyze data, and using different algorithms. Uh, finally, they are able to make databases to store and handle information for further use. Other specialists belonging to this category is mm, bioinformatician, like any technician. Uh, we can A bioinformatician can use already made tools which they make to analyze data and deposit their work in the databases present. Now, one thing is asked that define bioinformatics. So, since so many people from various walks of life or various specialization use bioinformatics, so they define bioinformatics according to their language. Uh, I'm going to tell you few definitions. Mm, Application of computer technology to bioengineering is called bioinformatics. This is one definition. Application of information technology in biology is known as bioinformatics, is another. Yet another is bioinformatics is the science of developing computer databases and algorithms for, for the purpose of uh, speeding up the and enhancing biological research. This is by whatis.com. Bioinformatics is a combination of computer science, information technology, and genetics to determine and analyze genetic information. This is bitsjournal.com. Bioinformatics is the field of science in which biology, computer science, and information technology merge into single discipline. Is given by NCBI in 2001. Bioinformatics is a process of developing tools and processes to qualify and collect data to study biological systems logically. Uh, Bioinformatics is the use of computer tools to manage and analyze genomic and molecular biological data. Uh, One more definition is bioinformatics is the use of computers in solving information problems in life sciences. It mainly involves the creation of extensive electronic database on genomes, proteins, sequences, etc. It also involves techniques such as three-dimensional modeling of biomolecules and biological systems. So, these are few definitions, and you may search the literature to get many more definitions. Now, opportunities and applications of bioinformatics. There is a list, infinite तो नहीं yet. A number of things are performed with the help of bioinformatics. First is sequence homology analysis, and in which pattern recognition is done, with which structure and functions of various proteins and nucleic acids are determined. Then drug designing, when we work in on computers, it is known as in silico studies. So for drug designing, in silico studies are used to reduce animal sacrifices. Yeah, actually, when receptors present on the cell surface combine with a compound, and because of this interaction, if the cell gets any signal from outside to perform any function, then that is a functional or futile interaction, and this is how a compound is detected to make any drug if it is giving some positive signal to a disease cell. So for that, a structure of receptor is determined, and uh, in silico or on computer, with the help of tools, some compounds are interaction of various compounds are made to know which compound is going to interact, and selection is made out of many compounds. Selection is made of those compounds which are interacting with the receptor structure, and only those compounds are finally tested in vivo and in wet lab. In vivo means कि किसी एनिमल में सीधे टेस्टिंग करेंगे, और वेट लैब में टेस्ट करेंगे. So in wet lab means कि actually various laboratories where we use test tubes and various chemicals and reagents. Now, sequence of protein can be determined, in which various folds, motifs, patterns are determined. Uh, Once it is determined, a known structure, it becomes a known structure, and that structure is compared with any new sequence to determine the structure and sequence and motif and pattern of a new unknown sequence information. Metabolic pathways are found out with the help of uh, bioinformatics. Because mostly the enzymes are protein in nature. Once the structure and function of enzyme is determined, its function can be found out, and finally it can be tested in wet lab. Medicine, for medicine, again drug designing and possibility of any compound uh, of being converted into drug is found out, along with uh, expression levels of various genes can be studied in diseased and normal persons body or cell, and that difference, expression difference, uh, tells what is the actually explain the difference, and then that manipulations can be done to restore the disease state to normal. Primer designing, for polymerase chain reaction we need primers. This reaction is done in vitro in test tube. So if a DNA sequence is known, then its primer could be found out with the help of bioinformatics, and then the actual experiment is carried out in wet lab. Reverse vaccinology also utilizes the science of bioinformatics, in which uh, prediction of T cell and B cell. Uh, uh, B cell receptor is possible. Its receptor's structure is found out, and then again epitope, which can interact with the uh, this receptor, that is found out, and this is how vaccine is made of that particular epitope, uh, molecule carrying that epitope, and that helps in uh, vaccine production and enhancing our immunity. Information of synthetic tissues also. The science of bioinformatics helps in DNA chip technology. This helps measurement of biodiversity of any area, that is the analysis of genomes of various samples, various living organisms present in a particular area by their genome analysis with the help of bioinformatics is possible. Microbe, in the case of microbes also, various genomes are being analyzed, and effects of their genes on human beings and different animals are being found out. And first these experiments are done in silico to see whether what is the genome, what are the genes, and what are the expressions of gene, and as a result of that what effect they have on different organisms. Comparative genomics, in that also various genomes are compared with one another for human benefit. Genomes of farm animals like cows, hens, goats, if genomes of these animals are known, uh, whatever product they produce, that can be uh, with the help of genetic engineering, their genomes can be changed for uh, production of better product. Similarly, this science is used for uh, crop improvement, like mm, one such example is of BT cotton, in which cotton better cotton variety was developed, and crop model crops are tested for them. Drought resistance can be seen or enhanced with the help of studies in silico studies in bioinformatics. Improvement of agriculture, I have already told you. Forensic science may, this science will help to find out the culprit by DNA analysis from the samples present at crime site. Antibiotic resistance, microbes have antibiotic, bacteria has antibiotic resistance, show antibiotic resistance, and genes responsible for them can be found out, and that can be used for human benefit. Sum of all protein interaction within the cell. Cells produce many, DNA produces many uh, proteins which interact inside the cell. As a result of cell carries out various functions, so those interactions uh, can be found out. And similarly, in plants, insect the property of insect resistance can be found out at the gene level. So these are various applications of bioinformatics, and there are many more examples are there, and variety of fields are still uh, there for which bioinformatics can be helpful. So this was my lecture, introductory lecture on bioinformatics. This is all for today. Thank you.